Oral questions. Questions orales. The Honourable the Leader of the Official Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, the situation in Iraq is moving towards imminent crisis and military action. Canadian forces have been on the ground there for some time. In fact, 150 military personnel are involved in joint command arrangements with British and American troops on the ground. Is this deployment continuing? Will these personnel remain in the event of war with Iraq?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I want to set out the position of the Government of Canada. We believe that Iraq must fully abide by the resolution of the United Nations Security Council. We have always made clear that Canada will require the approval of the Security Council if we were to participate in military campaign. Over the last few weeks, the Security Council has been unable to agree on a new resolution authorizing military action. Canada worked very hard to find a compromise to bridge the gap in the Security Council. Unfortunately, we were not successful. If military action proceeds without a new resolution of the Security Council, Canada will not participate. We have ships in the area as part of our participation in the struggle against terrorism. Our ships will continue to perform their important missions against terrorism.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we have seen nations in the past support a military action without sending forces, but this is the first time we've ever seen a country not support a military action and send forces anyway. What a bizarre position. Mr. Speaker, let me get the Prime Minister to answer my first question. We have troops on the ground in the Iraq theatre with British and American soldiers being deployed. Are they going to stay there or not?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
We have a certain number of people who are in exchange with the British and the American troops, and they are doing some activities there. It's not in a combat situation, and I think that they should respect the undertaking they have made to the other governments as their troops are doing that. The number is quite limited. Some are involved in surveillance, in planes and so on, and they will carry on their duty that they have started to do some weeks and months ago.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition, a little bit.
Well, I guess we have a government here that is indeed half pregnant, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the government says it will only support military action if there's a second United Nations resolution. But in January, I quote from the January 31st edition of the Charlottetown Guardian, the Prime Minister said, Resolution 1441 will authorize action. Now, is he saying today it doesn't authorize action, or is this yet another flip-flop in the Canadian government's position?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, last week there was a very important development. The American, the British and the Spanish introduced a resolution in the Security Council to authorize action, and it was not voted, so they have superposed this resolution over 1441, and they did not get the authorization from the Security Council.
The Honourable Member for Okanagan, Kandahar.
Mr. Speaker, it appears that an allied coalition of some 30 countries is about to intervene in Iraq to enforce Resolution 1441. A coalition of nations and exiled Iraqis has also been hard at work on plans to build democratic institutions in Iraq. But Canada has largely been left out of these planning groups who are working towards freedom for the Iraqi people. Why has Canada been left out?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, a year ago I said to the President of the United States that Canada will intervene in a conflict with Iraq only if we were to have a resolution authorizing intervention by the Security Council. They know my position, the position of this government, since the first day. And we have always stuck with that position. Today we have the conclusion that the Security Council does not have a resolution to authorize action, so we're not participating.
The member for Okanagan, Kandahar.
He wasn't paying attention, Mr. Speaker. That wasn't the question. Mr. Speaker, it's very clear that Canada has lost influence and is not vitally included in the planning discussions to liberate the people of Iraq post-Saddam. And we're not there because our allies know we have underfunded our military. We're dragging our feet on banning terrorist groups, which our allies banned a long time ago. We've got troops over there, but we're not going to commit them. Mr. Speaker, when will the federal government address these unacceptable deficiencies in our foreign policy commitments so that we can restore the international confidence that we once enjoyed?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, our commitment to fight terrorism is very well known. We have agreed to send troops, thousands of them next summer, to fight terrorism in Afghanistan, and we'll keep our duty to do that. The question of Iraq and military intervention in Iraq, we said that we could not participate if it was not approved by a resolution of the Security Council, and it's what I said a year ago and I'm repeating today.
Honourable Deputy.